No one knows the fucking algorithm.
Just keep your freaking thing the same. Like, if you make a good video, hopefully it'll go viral because it's a good video.
Damn
Full
right.
stop.
Hey,
like,
man.
this whole
Great
algorithm, or like, you need to make sure you don't have too many hashtags, but you have to have enough hashtags to be able to get it out there.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, honestly,
pretending they're
I don't
experts on
give
social
two
media.
shits. Just create good content. Why is it about hashtags? Sorry, drives me mad. TikTok, Instagram, fucking sort it out. Sorry.
Shh, don't tell mum.
Hello
and welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum. My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the 5th most listened to parenting podcast in
Chile!
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 We're back, baby.
But we have dropped in the French charts. Yeah, we've dropped by 11.
What? Where are we in French?
Where are our French friends?
Where
Come
are we in
on.
France then?
We're 50th right now.
We're 50th in parenting.
Yeah, we've dropped
There's
by
more
11.
than 50 parenting podcasts, or are we last?
Well, it's probably because they can't understand what you're bloody saying, babes.
You're the one that just has a French surname and doesn't speak a lick of
Jacquemin.
French.
Jacquemin.
Jacquemin.
Slide into my DMs, people, and say my name in French. Really turns me on.
Jesus. All right. This energy, by the way, is going to go real quick from you. She gets so tired doing
Dude,
this.
but I've got a coffee in my hand. I'm ready. I'm all fueled up, baby.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that you're fueled up. So we can kickstart this episode by saying,
How is Rocket?
I've got bad back problems sitting in this bloody seat. I know that it's lovely. And you know what? It is a comfy beanbag, but this is not good for my back. I have a 90-year-old's back.
Okay, because we're basically trying to recreate a toy room. This is the whole vision with this pod. And I think we're doing it, but I find the beanbag situation so comfortable. Also, it'll be great when Rocket's a bit older, you can have 4 beanbags. Because God knows if we'll be doing that podcast then.
Of course we will be. What are you talking about? It's going to take off.
So please share this podcast with your friend, your family member, your auntie, your dog, anyone that is in your near facilities right this second. If you are driving, just be very, very careful and pull over the car and share it.
Jeez,
Yeah.
just like casually less than 2 minutes in and we've got a plug. We've got a plug from Jamie already.
There you go.
Oh dear. You know what though?
Otherwise,
So-
we'll have too many beanbags in our house.
I feel like this podcast will survive those later days because, you know, every time that something great happens, I just lift my thumb up and it sends a signal to the team next door. And, you know, they're in the process of checking 100 different thumbnails using different software. Yeah, that's right, Stephen Bartlett. We've got your number, mate.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing as you.
Thank you, mate.
My thumbs up.
Yeah.
Quick, guys.
So you'll see the algorithm consistently changing, the clippables completely changing all the
Just
time.
kidding. We sit at home and we go, that's funny. Let's put that on TikTok.
Yeah. So how's Rocket doing, Bart?
He's all right. He's we're in the period right now of illnesses being rife in nurseries. So every single time he goes to nursery, he picks up a new virus. He gets a cold.
We've
He
all
gets-
got a cold right now because of it.
Jamie's mum has it the worst, actually. She's had a cold for ages.
Yeah, it's not going. She had COVID and now she's got double whammy. But then I basically was so ill on Friday morning. I was playing for Ray-Ban in the day, and then I
So
woke
before
up.
then, what did you do?
I was like, "There's no way I'm going to survive 4 hours of DJing." So I went and had an IV drip from Get a Drip, which was
It's in Box Park in Shoreditch, right?
yeah, and it was a
Not a plug, by the way. It's honestly
no,
not.
definitely not a plug. And then I
The
had
number is 0734. No.
vitamin D jab because, okay, the weird thing is, I just want to quickly mention this before we get started, is when I was in a band, I had this horrendous cold where I just lost my voice, and they took me to Harley Street and I had this injection. 24 hours later, the cold was gone, like it had never even existed.
What? Why does shit like
Yeah.
this exist and the general public
Yeah, I
don't know about it?
I know. It's
Why
mad.
does this? Oh yeah, Michael Jackson's legs didn't work, and then he had a fucking
Jab.
injection of heroin,
But
and he was
I
fine.
remember watching a documentary with Britney years ago, and she had the same thing. She had this really weird cold thing, and they came and they injected her with something, and then she could
What is
perform.
in this injection?
Yeah.
Baby's blood. It's going to be something like that, you know.
Oh God, no.
Isn't there that? There's that. Do you not know that there's that weird
Fragrance.
Like, not fragrance. There's that weird.
There is a weird
There's
fragrance
that weird story about people in Hollywood. They drink kids' bloods and
Stay
stuff.
young.
They're so weird shit like that.
I would just use Botox, guys. Come on, let's be a little bit more.
What, for a cold?
It's not very organic, that.
For a cold? I genuinely thought you were going to say something along the lines of, well, you know, when I was in a band, I got a really bad cold, but it's fine because we lip synced anyway. We didn't sing live.
We always sang live. We
Did
didn't
you?
have the facilities to, of course. But the thing is when you're actually...
She's lying.
No, when you're actually doing big shows, you put 30% on the vocal with any track.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got the harmonies, you need to thicken the track. It would sound very empty with just 4 vocalists on site. Same with like backing vocalists. You'll always see 4 vocalists standing on the side of Adele. No, actually, I think she has 8. I think she has 4 men and 4
Jeez,
girls.
like a choir.
Yeah, just to do the harmonies and it just thickens the vocal. But she will probably have a 30% vocal in the track as well.
Like Celine. I mean, Celine Dion can't do 170 shows a year in Vegas and be singing 100% live the whole time. It's just not feasible. Her voice would explode. Anyway, excuse me.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Do you hear?
What's new with Rocket? We haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he's ill currently, right? And we've had this issue recently. When he's ill, he doesn't really eat much, but obviously you're trying to feed them a lot because, you know, you want to feed the cold, starve the fever, that kind of thing. So we're trying to get him to eat so that he like gets energy and then he can sleep better and all this stuff. Anyway, he's eating like crap. So the other day were just like, right, let's give him like a snack in between meals so that he can fill him up. I gave him an OT bar, which is these little, I don't know where they're from, like Deliciously Ella or something like that. No, not Deliciously Ella. What
Ella's
are they
Kitchen.
from? Ella's Kitchen, something like that. We give him like this little bar to
No,
keep him going.
it's an organics.
It's like a flapjack. Yeah, organics. There you go. He takes a bite of it, and because he then needs to cough or, you know, sneeze or whatever because he's got a cold, he breathed in to cough and he inhaled the bar and then just projectile vomited next to our bed on the carpet.
And you know what drove me mad about you is you were like, oh, so I pick him up, take him to the toilet. I come back out and Barney's got a toilet tissue and he's tapping the toilet tissue on the floor.
Super dad.
And I'm like, that's not really cleaning it now, is it, Bart? And so I
What
went
am I meant
later
to do?
and
I'm like
got-
naked in our bedroom. I don't have access to all the toilet cleaning facilities downstairs. So I went and got tissue to wipe up the vom.
But this was the second time he was sick because in the middle of the night he was sick as well.
In
and
his
it was
bed.
only because I went in and checked him before I went to bed. I was like, what is that smell? Looked down and I just got back from work. Barney was there.
But this is like you're pointing the finger. This isn't fair because I have his nanette, his nanny camera on the whole time, and I did not hear him once be sick. So he was like silent vomiting in his room, which terrified me because I have this obviously irrational fear or rational fear, let's be honest, of him puking in his sleep and me not hearing it. And that's exactly what fucking happened. It's terrifying.
No, I'm not blaming you for the whole vomiting thing. But we are in the habit now. He's a bit older with the Nanit. We haven't subscribed to the Nanit anymore because it was like, how much was it? Like
I don't know.
400 quid a year or something crazy. No, it was so expensive.
400 quid a
So
month.
we were like, well, we don't need it. We can still see him on the camera, hear him, but it just doesn't give us alerts. So we can't look back and go, oh, when was he sick? So we can't see the timeline of
Yeah.
when he was sick and things like
Yeah,
that.
because it records every time that he moves or every time he makes a noise. The nanny
Did
just
when he was a
automatically
newborn.
records.
Yeah.
But that's obviously when you pay for the subscription, which we don't really feel like we need now because he's a toddler and, you know, if he makes noise, it's just because he's either rustling around in his bed or he's crying in the morning because he wants to wake up or be like carried out of his cot. I had a freakishly scary like daydream the other day of he climbed out of his cot for the first time and like landed on his head or something. I had this awful dream
God, no.
of him like managing for the first time to climb out of his cot. It's quite high up off the ground. So when he does eventually do that, that's going to be a scary day because he might break something when he lands on
No,
the floor.
kids are very, very soft.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, they are. They're quite
Kids are
soft.
very
Like, they're very
soft.
durable. when
Durable.
they're that-
That doesn't, soft and durable.
Yeah,
are
their bones
opposite
are quite
space.
soft though, aren't they? Because they get harder as you get older. That's what I've
Brittle.
heard. Brittle and...
You make no sense.
No, it's true.
You make no sense.
So you're climbing... So he's going to climb out the cot.
and he'll just bounce off the ground and be
He
fine.
will be fine.
Right, yeah. I mean,
The
when he
amount of times he throws himself on the floor.
he
goes,
stacks it a lot at the moment.
No, he falls. Like if he doesn't get his own way. Have you
Yeah.
noticed he does that strop where he like throws himself on the ground and lays there. And I'm like just stepping over him in public. And it's so funny. I put up this video on TikTok.
Mate,
of,
the shitstorm in the comments. Oh my God.
yeah. But the thing is TikTok, they were really nice on TikTok.
But explain what the video is.
The video is me and Waterstones. He has this obsession with the escalator. I don't know what is, but I'm like, if you go backwards on the escalator, you might actually die or break a limb. So, honey, you're not doing it. So then he loses his temper. Every time we walk past an escalator, he like throws himself on the floor, rolls because he can't. I'm not going to let him go and like risk his life. Anyway,
So he was kicking up a storm. You
Kicking up a
filmed it and
storm.
was like, this is what it's like parenting, guys.
in
Just wear a
public,
condom.
and he never acts like this at home. At home, people are like, he's like the dream kid. Take him out into a public place. He's like, I'm free. Primark the other day, he went in the lift on his own and the door started shutting.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, like this, thinking. And then a parent was like literally walking past me. She went, that's my worst fear.
And I just
Because
lived
imagine
it.
the door's closed, he goes on the floor. You're like, where did he go?
So Jamie, you know how the other day we were filming a YouTube video and we were going to select a new car? If you don't already follow us on YouTube, it's The Bankses. Check it out. But and our
The
latest
Bankses.
video is we went to go and buy a new car, a new family car. So make sure you check it out if you're in the business of or needing to buy a new car. So, and in this video, you say halfway through the video that you do not finish your sentences. You also do not finish your stories because you just went off on a tangent. But the beginning of this is about the fact that you filmed Rocket having a tantrum and put it on social media. And then
Yeah.
you just went off on one about another woman and
lift.
getting in the elevator. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to finish your story. Otherwise,
Okay.
people listening might be like, what is she on about?
We're having
Has
a
she taken
domestic.
crazy pills? No, I just need you to focus
Finish.
finish the conversation or finish the story.
Is
in
this
fact.
what
And then we'll go-
ADHD is?
Possibly. We neither of us have ever been like diagnosed with it, but I
Diagnosed.
feel like we both have it.
Ah.
I feel like if I had to self-diagnose, I would say that we both have it
I
to a
once
degree.
had Adderall when I
Yeah,
was...
that is ADHD. That's ADHD medication.
Yeah, and I probably played the best set of my life with Adderall.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, so you just took it as like a hobby, like
I took it as a... what's
party
it-
drug.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "Do you want some Adderall?" And you were like, "Yeah, go on."
I was
then."
DJing and there was loads of Americans there and they were like, do you want some Adderall? I was like, yeah, what does it do?
In the UK, we just do cocaine. In America, they do
No.
Adderall.
But I'm telling you, I was like, wow, this stuff, it really got me focused.
What?
And I literally felt fantastic.
I mean, yeah, so it supposedly
get it here.
it calms your neural receptors. So it basically makes you able to focus more on one task rather than your mind wandering.
This is for me.
Obviously.
This drug is
How
for
do
me.
you not know
I
that
need
it's
to take
this?
Adderall before I do a podcast.
Yeah, imagine how focused you would be. You'd be like,
I'd
you'd
finish
tell
all my
one
sentences.
story for 45 minutes and it would be like the best story ever.
So basically, he has his temper tantrum, and
Yes. Yeah, so you film it, you put
I
it on
film
social
it.
media and go, oh my God, is anyone else kind of
but
feeling this?
Can I finish it? Can I
Okay,
finish it?
please do. Please actually do.
Steve, my stepdad, is there, and he's like, "You can cry all you want, mate." And he's like doing his because he's from Liverpool. He's very Liverpudlian.
And he's an army man.
Yeah, and he's in the army, so he's very much like stern with him. And he's like, "You can cry all you want. I'm not going to give you any sympathy." So he's standing there. The comments are like, "That man's not speaking, not very nice to him." While my child's on the floor going, "Ah!" And I was like, why are they not having a go at the fucking kid losing his temper on the floor, rolling around? But no, it's the parents'
Well, yeah,
job.
it's the way that
And
you're
then-
reacting to the scenario,
Right, I have
which
to
is
read
what
the
people then
comments.
judge. There is one comment that says something like, well, maybe the issue is that you give him the dummy and you should have taken it away after 3 months. 3 months.
3 months, that's
3
wet- yeah.
months. I know kids that have dummies that are 4 years old.
Right?
Rocket's not even 2, and he has a dummy when he sleeps, when he's in the car, and when he's sleeps, car, and that's it, right? Car
look,
journeys and when he goes to
Listen
bed.
to this. It's
Mate,
yeah.
and it was from like a 16-year-old, the comment.
Yeah, probably because instead of being a parent, you just stick a pacifier that is supposed to be taken away after 3 months in his mouth. And I'm like,
3
okay,
months.
perfect example. My cousin, my auntie and uncle had 3 boys. All of them had dummies, but one of them had a dummy and they took the dummy away after a year. What did he do? To replace the dummy, started sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
And then he caused all the issues with his teeth from sucking his thumb too early. So there are implications of taking the dummy away too soon. And also, Rocket knows he gets his dummy when he goes to sleep in the car and if he's ill. That's it. And then somebody else wrote, because you let him act like that. I'm sorry, how can I stop my child acting? You need to stop crying right now. He's a toddler. He's not going to listen to me.
Oh my God. So, I mean, I had a bit of a situation actually
It's hilarious.
recently. So I've been working in Poland. I've been working in Poland for the past 3 weeks on and off. So I go down, fly on a Sunday, work until Wednesday, and then fly back on the Thursday. So I was doing Sunday till Thursday for 3 weeks running. So that 3 week stint ended last week. And I got home and I don't, this isn't going to sound mean, but you know what? I was almost happy that I got to go home and no one was there. And I could
Really?
like unpack, do some washing, have some food, and just sit and decompress after. It's quite an intense show. We would be live
Where
for.
was this Friday?
So this was Thursday night last week when I
was
came
that?
back. You were working, I think. You were out. I came back. Rockets with one of the grandparents, and then I just like got to
you was with your
decompress.
mum?
I got to chill and play some video games, which is like a way that I like to kind of decompress as well. And I came back, and Rue had been left alone for a couple of hours, which is fine for him, and he had diarrheaed all over my office.
Oh yeah.
All
I forgot what
over
I
my
was doing.
office. And so we were like, oh my God, I got back, I found it and was like, oh, really? So I cleaned it up, spent 20 minutes cleaning it all up and all that stuff. Dr. Beckham's carpet cleaner is so OP. It's like the best carpet cleaner you can buy. You can get it in all the major supermarkets in the UK. Just buy it. If you're a parent and your kid spills shite on the carpet, vomits, poos, whatever, it's just so good. I
they
haven't
have-
seen a carpet cleaner that's better.
Yeah, like we had permanent marker and it actually
Got
rubbed
permanent
off.
marker off?
Yeah, the carpet.
Mate, outrageous. So...
But the only thing with it is they need to change their bottle because it leaks.
it leaks. It does.
So
Dr.
bad.
Beckham, sort it out, mate. Come on.
Yeah, it's changed the bottle.
So anyway, it is game changing. So I'm using that, getting it all off the carpet. That's absolutely fine. And then when I go downstairs and I'm like, has he got a stomach issue? Because, you know, I posted a little video of me going into my office and going, like, oh God, he's shat everywhere. I cleaned it up just to be like, this is me coming home from work and still working essentially, or going into parenting mode. And after cleaning it up, posting it, people commented going, that's really not okay. Like he might have a stomach tumor.
Oh
Do you
my
remember?
God.
You started freaking out that he might have a stomach tumor because someone had commented it underneath the TikTok. So I'm having a meltdown. Oh God. And I go around into the living room and like stuffed underneath one of the seats is an empty packet of treats.
Yeah.
He had found a packet of treats and eaten the whole bag.
Yeah.
And then shat everywhere.
No, but because of that comment, I didn't sleep that night. I had
Was that the night you didn't sleep where you called me and it was like 6 a.m.?
no, but that was a Saturday. So
Oh.
yeah, weird. Because I was at that party
Living
and I
that
was
DJ
like,
lifestyle.
yeah, I finished. Well, I was out with my friend. Well, it wasn't my. Basically, I was doing a party for my mate. I was DJing for them. I stopped at 12 because I had a birthday the next day for 2-year-olds, and you don't want to be hungover for that. So they would let me stay, but they continued the party on till 6 a.m. So all I was hearing in the music was do 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 do. Anyway, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go on TikTok and try and like fall asleep. It's just never the way. Go on TikTok. I see this comment about the dog, and there's, you know, everything feels so much worse when you're at night. And I was just there thinking, oh my God.
And when you're
my
away
dog's
from
got
home.
dog cancer. I'm going to have to
Dog cancer.
get him
It's just called
fixed.
cancer.
And I just got, oh my God, I was terrified. I had a little cry. And I don't know whether it was because I had a few too many drinks, but oh my gosh, I was terrified. And it kept me up all night. Because I was terrified that he wouldn't. I think I'd got about 8 minutes. And I drove home.
You did. I just said, why don't you just get in the car and just drive? But I know you're going to feel like absolute garbage, but
Yeah.
better to then get
But I
home.
hadn't drank for 8 hours, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll do that. So I got in
Yeah.
the car and then drove. But at the same time, I was just like, just be so careful writing comments like that on social media, because even though it means nothing, they probably wrote it and forgot about it. That kept me up all night, worried, sick about my dog. And then he just ate a bag of treats. But maybe it was because you were like, and then we found the dog treats, you know, or put it on a story or
I should have
something.
done that. Yeah, but I just didn't. I was really tired and I got back and I was just like, I just want to put on, you know, when you like get home and you just want to put a film on and just like sit on the sofa, but you don't even want to put a film on that you have to concentrate in. You want to put like a shit
Shitty.
film, like Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies, or like freaking, or like
Or
Lord
Friends.
of the Rings for the 50th time or something. The way you don't have to concentrate, you can just sit there and just veg out and not even have to. Yeah, that was the kind of the mode that I was in. So by the time I found the treat packet, I was like, oh, whatever. But yeah, you're right. I should have even just done a little Instagram story to be like, don't worry, guys, he doesn't have a tumor. He's just greedy, fat shit.
Yeah, and then he's been so greedy recently. Like our dog used to not eat anything. We put him on Bella and Duke raw food. He would never touch that. We then gave him Lily's Kitchen. He wasn't eating
Yeah, we
Lily's
bought
Kitchen.
him really expensive bougie dog food.
We then, what was the other one?
Yeah,
that was
we
really
bought that one that
bougie?
was really expensive. It was like 70 quid a month
Bella
or
and
something.
Duke, that was the expensive one, but there was another
No, the
one
other
we
one was
did.
more expensive.
Was
that
it?
other one, yeah, that was like real food and it's tested on humans and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And it
it was in the
smelled really
sachets.
good. It smelled
did.
like a
It literally
turkey
just smelled
dinner.
like shepherd's pie. Yeah, actually, and so they were like, they would get people to eat it, to test it.
Yeah.
And so he loved it, but it was just too expensive.
No,
Couldn't
he
afford it.
loved it for like literally a week and then he went off it. So now we
So
are
fussy.
on,
James, well beloved.
yeah, loves it.
And he eats, and
Absolutely
it's just
loves it.
like tinned dog
Cavapoo.
food. It's like shitty tinned dog food, and he'll eat it. And we're like, after all this, we get told that Cavapoos are the most fussy animals, fussiest dogs you can get. So you have to make sure that you give him like, we fed him chicken for the first 2 years of his life, or first year of his life. We gave him like
Because our
cooked
breeder
chicken
did.
breasts for him. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. We
But
should
to be
never
honest,
have done
that
that.
was cheaper. That was
Yeah,
probably
bought
cheaper.
loads of frozen chicken breasts.
But apparently
yeah.
it's not really good for their digestive system because they don't have a variety of like, they need peas and carrots and like they need proper
Yeah.
nutrition. He was literally just having chicken breast for the first
Oh
2
mate,
years.
do you remember when we took him to the pub with us and we bought him a roast dinner? They did a dog roast dinner that they give in a dog bowl, and it came in it. So it was like carrots, meat, gravy, and he lost his shit so fast that he like ate it in 5 seconds,
And then
and then he
vomited it.
vomited it all up, and then ate it again. Oh, in the middle of this pub, and we were just like, "You're disgusting, dog."
Dogs are disgusting.
Yeah. I was gonna say, oh yeah. So, now surpassing all the dog chat.
Oh wait,
baby
I wanted
chat.
to say the movie
Fuck you, Jamie. Okay, yeah,
Kumar.
sorry.
Kumar.
Harold and Kumar get the munchies.
Yeah, why don't they do movies like that anymore? Because
Such a funny film.
during, like,
they
we
had
had-
3, you know.
we had American Pie during us growing up.
yeah.
In like when we were like,
That was so good. That era
18
of films.
Yeah.
American Pie, one of my favorite coming of age, teenage kind of movie ever is The Girl Next Door. That is honestly the best film ever. It is so good. I made my mate Connor watch it.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's now one of my favorite films.
Really?
And he his obsession is like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, da, da, da. And I was like, watch this coming of age.
Door.
And he was like, what's the story? And I was like, it's a teenager and a hot girl moves in next door and he finds out she's a porn star, and it just goes from there. And
Oh
it's
my God.
such a good film.
but you know what? I feel like now they're all a bit too lovey-dovey, like the boys who I've loved before. and
I know
those-
they're all such trash. Like now the teenage coming of
That
age
is a
films
good
is like
one, though.
The Kissing Booth and just dog shit. Like wipe my
Whereas-
ass with that film.
Whereas
That's rubbish.
beforehand, they were comedy. Like we had
American Pie,
Road Trip.
Road Trip, Euro Trip, which was like another one of those,
Yeah, that was
like
good.
in that thing.
Oh my
We
God,
had
remember
The Girl Next
American
Door.
Beauty with who was
Yeah, but
the
that was like a
lead?
serious film. That was Kevin Spacey and the girl from American Pie, the blonde one.
Yeah,
who
that was a
like,
good movie.
Not Tara Reid, the other one, the other blonde chick that ends up with the American football dude.
So then we had all of those. We had
What else did we have? There was like teenage coming of age films. What's the one with the
Scream?
guy?
Scream. Well, you know the
Freddie got
Halloween.
fingered. That's a great film. You couldn't make these nowadays.
Yeah.
I saw Robert Downey Jr. went on Joe Rogan's podcast,
Yeah.
right? And they talked about the film Tropic Thunder, which is like one of the best comedies ever. But
Yeah.
they talked about how you just couldn't make that nowadays. Because Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface for basically the whole film.
Oh fucking!
I know. How savage.
But,
But
the
it's
thing is,
one of the
people
best
are-
films ever.
People are so precious now. Like if Python came out now,
Monty Python could not be made now,
No.
no. But then every kind of comedy, sits within its era. So like nowadays, there's comedies that come out now. I don't know, when was the last comedy that came out? Like let's pick your run-of-the-mill Adam Sandler film or something. In 50 years' time, that might be cancelable to make that kind of comedy. Who knows? Or we might bounce the other way and stuff might get more savage because people are so sick of it. Like you're seeing the backlash on Disney right now
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what I was
amount of
gonna
kind
say.
of woke stuff that they're peddling, and people are just, did you see the latest South Park episode that took the piss out of Disney? I actually can't say on this podcast what it's about because
No.
it will get us cancelled, but it is so good. If you haven't seen it, check out the latest South Park episode about Disney. At least watch the trailer for it or something. See
put
the
it on YouTube,
concept.
yeah.
And it is honestly so savage, but so funny. They get away with it.
the
They're
thing
the
is
only people that can.
the person that was running Disney did such a bad job. They've now fired him and rehired their old.
The old Michael Eichner or something Eichner or Ike.
I believe so.
He was like
I
the
can't
old
remember
CEO.
his name, but they've brought him back in. So it will go back to kind of like the more traditional way of Disney's thinking. So for the next few years, we might see very like some weird stuff and then it will go back to normal. But the weird thing about that is we've had a huge strike.
Yeah, the writers' strike.
And that will impact.
It's done now.
I know.
They've agreed to settle by paying like $8 billion or something in back payments to actors.
Back payments?
Yeah,
That's
to
brilliant.
writers and actors and stuff like that. They're like distributing a
I
shed
wonder how they're
load
going to
of
work
money.
that out though.
I mean, I guess what will
Or where
probably
they're gonna-
happen is if you're an actor or writer and you're registered with SAG-AFTRA, whatever it's called, I feel like you will probably have to apply and then prove your credits and then they'll arrange a payment. It's going to be something like
I
that.
see. Okay.
I imagine.
Maybe a little bit like
By the
PR.
way, I don't know if that's
I bet you
fact.
this is going to happen in the music industry.
Oh my God, can you
Soon.
imagine the amount of money that the music industry
They
fucked
will
people
stop
over
making
with as
music
well?
for ages.
It's because so many people are now independently releasing shit and doing well. Like Kenya Grace, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's a great example of it, of being number one on Radio 1, not signed to anyone. It's just like,
No, she is. She signed her contract.
she signed her life away? What
But the thing
happened?
is, but the thing is she started doing it via TikTok. But this is what I was saying about my music business. I was speaking to my agents the other day about it, and I said, listen, like the problem is no one is listening. No one is listening to the tracks because I can see it on SoundCloud. Like you can see how many people listen after it's a secret link, so I can actually see. I've sent it to 10 people and it's been listened to twice. So only 2 labels out of the 10 I've sent it to haven't heard it, and then I'll resend again and it doesn't get listened to. So I'm not going to sign a track that then they haven't even listened to. So the only way of really doing it is self-releasing and putting your money and time into promotion and getting DJs to play the record and like doing loads of content with the track like consistently. Like perfect example, my friend Storm, she's releasing her own music at the moment, and
It's really good,
every
actually, as
single
well.
video that she's putting out, she's singing her track or like dancing to her track.
Oh, do you mean
Just
the
using
repetitive
track.
content
Yeah,
stuff?
the repetitive
Yeah.
content stuff, but it works
Yeah, it
because
does.
it's like an earworm. And then a label will be like, oh, I like that person. Let me see what else they have. Oh, I wonder if they can create more, etc. And that's how you're going to get their attention instead of dropping them an email and expecting them to open the email and then just sign you off the back of that. It's a really annoying way of having to do things, but at the moment, self-release, we're lucky we're at a stage where we can do self-release. Because back in the day, we couldn't do self-release. We didn't have the opportunity to do that.
I hope
What-
people at home can kind of listen or watch this podcast and understand when Jamie has a Canadian moment. It's so
Why
hilarious.
does he do that?
Because you're like, you say, you
Is
speak.
it getting worse since Mum moved
No,
next door?
I
Like
don't
my
think
accent?
so, but you
I
like-
feel like it has
you
a little bit.
You speak with an English accent, and then you'll just randomly say one word, super Canadian, and then you go back to English. You were literally explaining that. You were like, yeah, she makes all these TikToks, and they use the same song every time. It's like an earworm. And then you carry on. And I was like, whoa.
But you know
where
what?
did
So
the Canadian
have you
come
seen
from?
that TikToker that like puts on all different accents, these brilliant accents? He goes on dates with girls and he goes, I'm going to change my accent 10 times, see if she
No.
recognizes it.
Oh,
and
that's brutal.
He goes from
Don't try because you're so bad at
No,
accents.
he goes from
Actually, no,
Liverpool
do try.
to American to Southern, and she's like, I can't pin your accent.
Okay, you have to say a sentence in the Liverpool accent now.
No, I
Go
can't.
for it. Try.
I'd have to hear it first.
Okay, I'll say one. I'll
Okay.
say one in Liverpool accent.
So you do it, go on.
I'm trying to.
You have to listen to
No,
it.
I'm trying to like think of a phrase.
Think of Gabby.
Yeah, I know I am thinking of Gabby, but I'm trying to think of like the right kind of phrase
Oh my
to say.
fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
What was that?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Fuck off! You're so fucking
Jimmy.
annoying.
So annoying. Yeah, that's all I hear from her all the time.
Oh my god! It's everyone
It's
like
the-
if anyone tries
yeah.
to do a Scouse accent, it's always
Even though Steve is from Liverpool as well, we hear it all the time.
Yeah.
I should really know how it sounds.
I can't even think of a phrase to say like that will be a good like opportunity to kind of showcase the Scouse accent.
But you know what that guy did on TikTok as well? So his
Don't
scammer
fucking
called
talk
him.
to me like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Try that.
Don't fucking talk to me like that. I literally can't. I can't do it. So this TikToker.
Okay, yeah,
this is
yeah.
why I don't finish stories, because then you go and doing your tangent and I don't get
It's
the story
true, it's
finished.
true. Sorry, yeah.
So then I was like watching his stuff, and then he did one on a scammer. So scammer's calling him. He's like, "Hey, I'm from Barclays Bank.
Oh, God.
You've had a fraudulent inactivity. Can you just verify your identity, please? Can I have
Give
your
me your
first
PIN
name,
number."
your last name?" And then he was just like, he said Jon Snow.
Okay.
And he was like, okay. And he was like, "And where do you live?" He was like, "Hollywood Drive." He was like, "Okay, thank you. You've been verified."
Thank you. You've been
But then the whole
verified.
time he was talking, he was changing his accent the whole way
Oh,
through.
wow.
And he was like, "We need some identification. Can you email us, please? At Barclays, da, da, da." And he was like, "Oh, I feel really uncomfortable emailing you my identity. Can I just come into the bank and do it?" No, because it's fraudulent activity, we kind of need it from the email. And then, but the whole time he's changing his accent and the guy's just not even realizing it.
Find out the guy's name so we can actually tell the audience to go check it out, because otherwise people are not going to have a Scooby-Doo what you're
So
talking
this
about.
guy, he's called, okay.
And while you search
this.
for that, I've say I've had this horrible flashback moment of us since we just spoke about American Pie, The Girl Next Door, these kinds of teenage films growing up. I had an awful, I think I watched American Pie 2. We rented it at a Blockbuster and then we watched it at home with my mum and dad. And I remember so vividly the scene where they find the dildo in the girl's house that they're painting.
What?
And then they try to figure out if they're lesbians and get them to kiss. And I was sat there watching this scene with my mum to my right, and I was just cringing so hard. Like, oh my God, I'm watching them talking about dildos and lesbians, and my mum's just sat there. And I was like, I don't know how old I was at that point. Maybe I was like 12. So I was having an absolute internal psychotic breakdown.
Like freak out.
Yeah, like, oh God, I don't want to watch it. Yeah. Anyway, so that was awful. Have you found him?
I'm looking, hang on.
You continue to look while I tell people my weekly TikTok turn off, which we can go to next. My TikTok turn off for this week has to be, oh my God, there's so many to choose from. There's been like a awful kind of decline in TikTok engagement, I feel like, for a lot of people recently. And I feel like there's new accounts sprouting up so often that there's like a noticeable change in the TikTok algorithm. Okay, jump in. Talk to me.
He's called the accent guy.
For fuck's sake. Is that literally his name? The accent guy,
Underscore
people.
the accent guy underscore.
Underscore the accent guy underscore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he's like,
Play something into the mic.
I'll play this one.
Do it. I dare you.
This
Find
is
a
the one
good
about
one.
the scam.
As long as the video's not like 4 minutes long.
Told a scam caller to call me back so I could prank them and switch my accent. Still waiting. Here we go. Hello?
Scouse.
Good afternoon. I'm calling on behalf of Nationwide as we suspect your account has been used for a fraudulent transaction. Can you just verify your last name for me, please?
My last name?
Your last name, please.
Yeah, my last name is Shelby.
Now it goes into
Okay,
Irish.
thank you. And can I just get your first name, please?
First name, that is Thomas. Thomas.
Irish, nice.
Thomas.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
thank you,
bang it.
Thomas. And can we just get the first line of your address as well?
Oh, the first line. It's 61
First lawn.
Garrison
Yes.
Drive.
61.
Told a scam caller.
And then he goes into the next one. Then he does, it cuts it. And then you have to watch the next video and the next video,
That was,
which they all bloody do.
it's fascinating. That was really good TikTok. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. I got lots out of that one. Fucking hell, that was crap. The payoff was so bad. We spoke about it for like
Wait.
10 minutes and the payoff was literally like wiping my ass with sandpaper.
Wait, do you want to
That
listen
was
to the date
fucking
one?
terrible.
Listen to the date one when
No,
he
I
goes on
don't
a
want to
date.
listen anymore. He fucked it. The nail's in the coffin. He's done. Goodbye, the accent guy. If you want to check out more of the content, go on underscore the accent guy underscore. But for now, TikTok turn-offs, I was actually really struggling to think of
Mine isn't a turn off. Mine is just
let's
social
go.
media.
Oh, God.
Mine
Okay, here we
is
go.
the algorithm. Everyone always talks about the algorithm always changes. You have to figure out the algorithm.
No one knows the fucking algorithm. No one
Just
knows
keep your freaking thing the same. Like if you make a good video, hopefully it will go viral because it's a good video.
Damn
Full
right.
stop.
Amen.
Like this whole
Preach,
algorithm, or like you need to make sure you don't have too many hashtags, but you have to have enough hashtags to be able to get it out there.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, like, honestly,
pretending they're
I don't
experts on
give
social
two
media
shits.
is
Just create good
annoying.
content. Why is it about hashtags? Sorry, drives me mad. TikTok, Instagram, fucking sort it out. Sorry.
Jeez.
I know it annoys me because honestly, we put so much time into our social media stuff. And like, for instance, you didn't see any movement with your Instagram for such a long time and your TikTok was blowing up. And then I think you were shadow banned and now you've just been miraculously released from shadow banned. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Why? Because we've had 2 conversations with Instagram. Sorry, it's all corrupt. The whole system's corrupt. I'm going to go move into a shell in a hole in the floor.
In the shell in a hole in the floor. Okay.
I've had enough of it.
We'll try and
that is
find
my
some accommodation for you,
TikTok
babe.
turn off. That is my TikTok turn
That's your
off.
TikTok. Actually, it kind of fits in quite nicely with the fact that I've seen a kind of TikTok turn off for me is the people that pretend
To know about algorithm.
Yeah, that
The algorithm
they're
says this and you
an
need to do this right now.
People that pretend that they're an expert on social media and they make these videos like, I know, here, take these 5 steps in order to make your content go viral. And literally like the brass tacks of it, if you break it down to its bare bones of whatever they say, because it's like normally a 10-minute video, it's split into 8 parts
Yeah.
on TikTok or whatever.
Go to
Force
part
you
2.
and honestly, it's like, make good content, make sure it's well lit, subtitle it, and put a trending sound underneath it, which everyone already fucking knows. And they're like, and this will make you go viral. And then
you
you
know
click
what?
on
I
their
don't
account, they've
even
got
think-
400 followers. And
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up.
But you know
Billy.
what? The trending
know who Billy
sound
is.
thing, I don't even think like, I have a friend, she always puts up like these cool like little videos and she never uses a trending sound and it pops off. I don't think trending sounds...
No, I think it's just no one knows it, and they're never going to tell you what it is because then everyone will do it, and then the entire platform will be saturated with one type of content. So they're never going to tell you what they're favoring. It will always change as well. Hence why
Just make good content. That's it.
Are you okay today?
Is
Should you not have had that 3rd coffee?
that my 3rd coffee?
I think we had one at home, and then we've had 2 since we got
Oh,
Starbucks, and then
flip. Oh, maybe I should go for another one.
definitely don't.
Okay.
You are literally like,
Hitting the...
I don't know, like you've put your finger in a plug socket or something.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the turn off is probably people that think they're experts on social media when ultimately no one is. Just make the content you want to make sure it's funny, make sure it's consistent. And if it's if you go on the creator program on TikTok, just make sure your videos are over a minute. Done. Sorted.
So the real question of the podcast, the main question we are all sat here listening or driving to right now is
Question that we're driving to.
how's Britney Spears, Barney
Oh
Banks?
Christ, besties with Brit. Tell you what though, U-turn. How's Jamie Lynn Spears?
Wow.
She's on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
You know what's so
What?
brilliant though? The opening of I'm a Celebrity, Ant and Dec are there, and we've got Brian Spears' sister on the show.
No, you fucked it already.
What?
That's not what they said. What? Yeah, it opened up and a deck went, we've got
Very,
Jamie
very-
Lynn Spears in, and her sibling is one of the most famous people on the planet. And then he goes, Brian Spears. And
AKA
talk about
Brian's brother. Brian's Britney's brother.
Jamie loves butchering a quote, don't you, my love?
I do
It's all
like
right, I still love you.
butchering
So essentially, what they're trying to do is, I feel like they've been told to not mention Britney Spears, but I feel like they can't tell that to the contestants. But Ant and Dec haven't said Britney Spears' name once. So I feel like they've been informed by Jamie Lynn Spears' manager or whatever.
Can't mention
Don't
Britney.
talk about Britney, because you can actively tell in the camp people are trying to talk to her about
But
Britney,
the
and
editors
she
are
will
so funny
not
though,
talk about
because
it.
the editors, what they'll do is like everybody will meet Jamie Lynn, and they're like, I can't believe I'm in here with Britney's sister.
Yeah, and they'll say by themselves in like, you know, whatever you call it. What's the Big Brother room they go to? They have one of those in the jungle.
everyone feels
and they're
it.
all going like, oh my God, Britney Spears' sister's here. But then Jamie Lynn Spears refuses to talk about her sister.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, no,
obviously
there
they're on
was a
bad
clip this
terms,
morning.
right?
There was a clip this morning that they showed, and she's been asked about her sister, and she goes, oh, I had a conversation with her before I came in, and we are on good terms. But obviously, she then talks about how she tried to get an emancipation
From
when
her
she was
parents,
16
yeah.
when she fell pregnant, because they wanted her to
Terminate.
abort the baby.
Yeah.
And so then they put her into hiding, and then she kind of was like,
Hiding.
yeah, they put her into like a hunt because
Jeez.
she moved to
Because she was
Mississippi.
famous, wasn't she? She was on like Zoe 101. And so they thought,
She was a kid
if you
star in
if you have
Disney.
this kid, your career's over.
Yeah.
That's essentially how they
So
were
she
feeling.
quit the acting business, and they bought her a house in Mississippi, locked her away around these gates. Apparently, paparazzi moved into Mississippi to get the shot of her pregnant, and she was like, I could not leave the place, which was awful.
That must feel so shitty.
She was crying about it, and she went, and the problem is I didn't really have a relationship with my parents because my parents didn't really want the baby. But then she goes, my mum just was like, I don't want you to just cut us out.
So when does she
do
talk
what
about
you wanna
Britney?
do."
You're-
She doesn't really. She
Oh
talks
my
about
God,
it at
you
the
just said
beginning.
that she
She
talks
does.
about
She
Britney
said
in the
she
clip.
spoke about her at the beginning when she came in, and everything's okay. So that's the
You
only
didn't
information we
say
got out
that.
of Britney. I did say that.
Oh my.
Should I find the video and play it?
Oh my God. No, please don't. Don't find any more videos.
But honestly,
you're sacked.
Honestly, Britney, the fact that she even knows I'm a Celebrity exists now, gives me all the feels.
Oh my God, you're literally like a Britney obsession. It's mental. But are we seeing a resurgence of the old school like reality shows? Big Brother's getting a resurgence. So I'm a Celeb is actually like people are actually watching it this year.
Because of Britney
And Sam
Thompson.
he is
so
funny.
funny.
He is a funny guy, I gotta
I
say.
absolutely love that man. Like
He's a bit much, but it works.
but he reminds me so much of my mate, and I feel like it's quite relative.
What's your favorite word?
Relative.
Relative. It's like so relative, not relevant. Or
Doesn't he sound like Joshua Roberts?
No one listening to the podcast knows who Joshua Roberts is, babe. So
Brilliant DJ.
yeah.
If you need a good wedding DJ, he's brilliant.
Nice one, Josh. Right. I love you.
I love you.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah,
see you
shush,
in the
don't
next
tell mum. I need
episode.
to pee anyway, so this is a good time. I hope you haven't done anything naughty because I only get to hear these after I listen back. I've listened to the whole episode to hear what you say.
You could just skip to the end. You do know that.
Okay. I don't want
But don't
to
do
do
that if you're listening or watching this podcast at home.
Bye.
Bye. What's new with Rocket? What have we done? I guess it's just like the feeding side of things is terrible. One thing that is so fucking annoying at the moment is every time Jamie feeds Rocket like a snack, she just gives him like the whole bar. And he hasn't learned that you have to take like bite-sized pieces of food yet. So whatever you put in his hand, he puts the entire thing in his mouth. So she gives him like a flapjack that's like this long and like this wide. So it's like an organics bar, if you know, you know. And he just like puts the first bit in and then just goes like, and just like shovels the rest in. So choking hazard nearly every time. So every time she gives him a snack, I have to behind her back, go and find him and then take it out of his mouth and then break a piece off and give it back to him. Which, you know, I shouldn't have to do, really. Let's be honest. So we're going to educate Jamie. Don't worry about it. And I'll see you at the next episode. And don't tell mum. Love you. Shh, don't tell mum.